All right, welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. If this is your first time listening, welcome to the podcast. I'm excited to have you here. I hope you're having a great day, a great week. My goal with the Daily Mastermind is to inspire you in your areas of life and business, your mind, body, money, business, lifestyle. Our goal is to create the life that you want to live. So let me start you out with the quote of the day. It's from Denzel, Washington. You may have seen that already on our social media pages, but I'm going to give it to you again anyway. And the quote is, "For me, success is inner peace. That's a good day for me." That's a great thought for you to think about. What is it that you prioritize? How do you define success? Well, today I want to talk to you about a topic that got me thinking when I heard a quote. And you may have heard this quote before. It's been around for a while, and it's, "Fortune favors the bold." And I saw that quote, I heard that quote, and I thought to myself, what does it take to be bold? And what does that mean in today's business? Because I do believe fortune favors the bold. And so I want to talk to you about that a little bit today. I want to talk to you about what that means, what I think it could do for you in your business and in your life. Because if you're trying to create your best life, I think one of the key ingredients would be to be bold. And so let's talk about fortune favoring the bold in business and in your life, and learning to really master that art of taking calculated risks. You know, it really speaks volume, that quote, fortune favors the bold, because it has a simplicity of what happens when you do take risks, the reward of the fortune, right? But entrepreneurs and business owners for a long time have realized, and if you're a high achiever or a business owner or entrepreneur, you've realized that it does take risk. It does take risk to be able to go to the next level. And bold leaders are often those that end up really coming out on top, and in a lot of ways, and sometimes unexpected ways. But overall, when you're daring and brave, the universe really does conspire to work for you. The bold path is one that gives you a lot of growth, but it also gives you a lot of reward. So what does it mean to really be bold in business? In business, boldness is not just a character trait. It's also a disruptor. It's a catalyst for change and growth. It's what you need in order to go to the next level. Because being bold and taking bold action, it shakes up the markets. It mobilizes your team. It captures, the imagination and creativity you need to really reshape paradigms in your business. And when you are bold, courage kind of follows that. And people follow that. And, whether you've got investors, partners, employees, clients, they'll all take note of that when you are bold. So you've got to really kind of ask yourself, what does it take to be bold in today's business? And why is that so important? Well, it's more than just a statement. It really comes down to having a bold vision, taking calculated risks, or even being more decisive. But being bold means more than just a character trait. It means a way of being in business. When you become a leader that's unafraid to share your vision, to walk the path that you're trying to create and just build the bridge as you go, that's being bold. When you learn to say yes and then figure it out, that's being bold. And in today's business landscape, it's almost required. Bold entrepreneurs are really the catalyst for change. They're the ones that pioneer technologies. They create new products. They disrupt the trends. And as you know, in today's marketplace, the trends are definitely being disrupted. The marketplace is constantly evolving. Individuals that basically start with nothing more than a mobile phone now can take risks and get out there in the marketplace and make a difference. So the reason I bring this up today is I want you to think about how it is that you can create more boldness in your business and in your life. I've got a couple suggestions for you, but I'm doing these more to spur your thoughts along in order to create more boldness in your business. So what I want you to do is I want you to kind of take a little self-assessment. First, become self-aware. To be bold, you've got to understand what are your risk tolerances, your strengths, your weaknesses. Be really honest with yourself. What is it? Because we're talking about just taking an assessment here. What is it? Where are the areas that you feel you are risk adverse, you're weak, or you're strong? And that self-awareness and introspection, that's one step. The next thing is you've got to be prepared, because fortune only meets the bold who are prepared. So strategic boldness means you've got to learn the skills. You've got to be organized. You've got to practice failure, like we talked about with recent podcast episode interview I did. you've got to arm yourself with all the knowledge and skills and contingencies that are going to be needed to be able to launch campaigns. So in addition to that self-awareness, you've got to be prepared. Another suggestion that I have on how you can cultivate boldness is to increase your networking. Boldness is really amplified when it's shared, meaning there's a lot of that belief transference that happens when you're in a group of bold entrepreneurs or business owners, creating those networks, those mentoring, those groups, those joint ventures, those partnerships. They always help to sort of spur on the level of boldness you can have. So when you have a powerful network that can help you in business. And then finally, in order to really create more boldness, in addition to becoming self-aware and being prepared and building a network, I highly recommend focusing on communication. Because to lead people boldly, you've got to be able to communicate in a solid, confident way. You've got to be able to present your vision. You've got to be able to follow through. You've got to be able to do the things it takes in order to be bold for the people that you're working with, or you're working around, or you're influencing, or you're leading, right? So, and then the last thing I wanted to talk to you about is how can you really apply this concept of boldness in your business? Well, the first area that you can do that in your business is through innovation. You know, the business landscape and marketplace is constantly changing. And in order to be on the forefront of business in your market and for your clients and things like that, you've got to be an innovator. You've got to be out there learning to push the envelope on what it is and not just following the status quo. Another thing you can do when applying boldness in your business is learn to leverage your failures. Failures are definitely a way to create boldness, because when you can become resilient in the face of defeat, or when you can bounce back from failures, it builds up and fortifies your ability to be bold. It helps you to be able to be more confident and more successful in the future, because failure is obviously, as I've said many times, one of the greatest lessons that you can learn from. So if you want to apply boldness in your business, leverage those failures, leverage those lessons that you're learning. The other thing you want to do is you want to ultimately prioritize your people, because boldness really has to be a culture of empowerment and trust that you have. Confident leaders empower their people. And so to be more bold as a leader, you need to learn to empower your people, give them the trust and the support that they need. I was talking to one of my, business partners and clients just recently about how it's important for you to set the vision, set the strategy, communicate the KPIs and objectives you want to do, but then offer the support and empowerment and trust that's out there so that people can flourish, people can grow. And that takes boldness to be able to do that, because I'll tell you, as an entrepreneur or business owner, a lot of times we don't have the patience and we feel like it's not going to get done unless it's us. So ultimately, this whole topic of boldness, I wanted to just kind of bring up to you, because I feel like at the end of the day, in order to be a truly successful entrepreneur, business owner, high achiever, you've got to learn to take calculated risks. You've got to learn to push yourself, because I truly believe that quote is absolutely right on. Fortune does favor the bold. Fortune doesn't favor the timid. And at the end of the day, if you want to create the life that you want to live, the life that you're meant to live, it's never too late. But you've got to learn to be able to push yourself, become more bold, more confident, and more driven in the things that you're trying to do. And being intentional is a way to do that. So that's my message for today. I hope you have an amazing day. I look forward to talking with you more. Do me a favor and share this show. If you haven't already, push that share button and push it over to somebody that you think might be able to benefit from being part of our community. We're looking to grow the community. I want to hear what's going on with you. Hit me up on the Daily Mastermind on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok. I'd love to hear what you're working on specifically. Tell me what it is you're struggling with. Tell me what it is you're having successes with. I love to hear feedback from the community. And if you also want to find some more ways to be able to work with me, go over to my personal social profile, which is on jointheevolution.com, jointheevolution.com. I'd love to find some ways that we can work closer together. Anyway, have an amazing day. I'll look forward to talking with you again tomorrow. Once again, my name is George Wright III. I'm your host, and this has been the Daily Mastermind. Talk soon.